This is Carley, statewide educator with Alabama Respite. I'm typically out on the road with you guys doing these trainings in person, but with the times that we're in and still maintaining social distancing, this is our best option of still being able to get together virtually, talk about some topics that may benefit you as a caregiver, and still kind of spend time together in a sense. I know this isn't ideal for many reasons for a lot of different people, but I hope you're trying to make the best of it. Today, I wanted to bring the topic of emerging technologies to support an aging population. So basically, that just means, we are living in a time of booming technological advances. It seems like every month, something different, something more high tech is coming about. We've got everything from phones that we can talk to and tell commands to cars that can stop themselves if another car is close to it. It's just astonishing the times we are living in. And a lot of times, the aging population just doesn't realize how majorly beneficial these emerging technologies can benefit your life and make your life easier. I know they can be very intimidating and very, unsure, make you feel unsure. But I'm just going to go through some of the things today that I feel like may benefit your life and make life easier for you. So let's get started. So, the number of Americans aged 65 or older is growing rapidly, increasing by 40% between 2000 and 2016 to approximately 50 million people, over 15% of the total population, and is expected to grow to nearly a quarter of the population by 2060. For older Americans living outside of a nursing home, 25% of those aged 65 to 74 and 50% of those aged 75 and older have reported some kind of disability, such as problems with vision, hearing, or mobility. So, whatever age group you fall in, do you have problems such as these, or can you relate to this? So, with technology, the goal is to enhance the functional independence and continued safety, well-being, and health of the aging population. So a lot of times with these technologies, it can feel like, somebody's going to steal your identity or expose your personal information, and that's not really the goal with any of this. These technologies will improve the quality of life for independent individuals. They will enhance individual choice with respect to living arrangements. They will reduce the financial and emotional stress on informal and unpaid family caregivers. And they will reduce expenses related to long-term care services and support. So as you can see, the goals of these technologies are not to work against you, only to help you, enable you, make life easier for you as an individual and as an unpaid family caregiver. So we'll get into that and we'll see how that can do so. So some of the technologies I'm going to hit on that I think would benefit you as the family caregiver is online grocery ordering and delivery, online banking, transportation, text messaging, and mail order prescriptions. So you already may be taking advantage of some of these, and some of these you may not even be familiar with. You may be thinking, what kind of technological resource is there for transportation or grocery shopping? So maybe you'll learn a few things today, maybe some things you didn't know about that maybe you can take advantage of. So first we'll hit on online grocery ordering and delivery. So some benefits of doing this would be speed and convenience, easy coupon use, taking advantage of online specials, and online grocery services aren't available in every city, town around the country, but they are available in most. There are some I've noted on here that two examples would be Instacart and Amazon Fresh. So those are two companies that solely their goal is to allow you to order groceries through them, and they deliver them to you, to your home. So a common problem is seniors who live at home often struggle with in-store shopping. Maybe do you relate to that? Whether it be because of limited physical mobility and strength, or just very few transportation options. If you don't have a vehicle, or you just can't, even as a caregiver, get out of the house to go grocery shopping, or maybe a lack of reliable assistance from family or neighbors, so you don't have someone you can trust to stay at home with your loved one. Any of those situations can make a trip to the grocery store very difficult for you, or really even impossible. Some of the benefits of grocery delivery services spare seniors or family caregivers a trip to the store, and it can be customized to your needs. So, for example, you could arrange to have groceries delivered on a weekly basis, or you can schedule deliveries for the same day. So, you can still make in-store visits for certain purchases while using delivery services for maybe heavy items or bulk items. So say you were able to run to the grocery store today, and maybe you have a pet, or you needed a case of water, something heavy that you couldn't carry, so you could still go to the grocery store, get what you needed, but have a list of those items that you physically couldn't get, and you could go home and order those from a grocery delivery service and have it delivered the same exact day. So that's just a good example that might benefit you. Next, we're going to go into online banking. So online banking, you may have already used. It's been pretty prominent, I know, over the last 5 years or so, but the benefits of that is just flexibility and convenience. Online banking allows you to view your account balances, pay your bills, locate ATMs, transfer funds, and even deposit checks, all while on the go. If you can't get to a bank branch during service hours, online banking gives you alternative ways to handle your banking needs. So, like I just said, a lot of times, just from your phone, you can check your account balance. You can pay your bills. Most all bills you can pay online now. You can find an ATM. You can transfer money in between accounts. And then you can also even deposit a check into your account from your phone. So if you haven't done that before, it's definitely something that's beneficial and would really probably benefit your life to make it a little bit easier. So if you haven't done that before, or just need even help setting up online banking, then reach out to your bank, or even you can reach out to me and I can help you get that figured out. So, because that would benefit you a lot. So a big one is transportation. So I know a lot of transportation problems is common within our aging population. Depending on if you just don't have a car, or you're unable to drive anymore, or maybe you're even on a daily medication that is, prevents you from being able to drive a motor vehicle. You never know with somebody's situation. So there are so many ways now for you to still be transported somewhere and not just be stranded. A lot of cities still have taxis. If you ever haven't heard of Uber or Lyft, those are just transportation services. You do have to have a smartphone to download the apps. But in the app, to order a ride, you go through the steps. You have to put in the address where you're located, the address you want to go, and then you choose. There's different ride choices depending on how many people. So you can have more than one people in the ride. But Uber just offers some extra assistance for seniors with its Uber Assist program and has launched Uber Way in Toronto, giving riders a wheelchair accessible option. So that's just in Toronto right now. It's not here, but hopefully that would move here because that is a great way to transport a loved one that's in a wheelchair, even if you're wheelchair bound. That would be great. I know there are resources of wheelchair transportation in most towns, but I know in most you have to schedule an appointment. It has to be based on their availability as to when they can come get you, things like that. So if this Uber Wave made it to America, then that might be something good too. But Uber in general is just a good rideshare application. Lyft is the same thing. Like Uber, ride sharing, Lyft is taking steps to improve its outreach for seniors and access for people with disabilities. Last fall, Lyft announced a slate of solutions for obstacles to seniors using its services, working with partners to take Lyft requests over the phone and to make it easier for groups working with seniors to request rides on their behalf. So, for Alabama specifically, I'm not sure that this is implemented, but it wouldn't hurt to call and ask Lyft. But this is saying Lyft is the same thing as Uber. You have a app on your phone. You open it up when you need a ride, tell them what time to come pick you up, from where, what address, and where you need to go. You choose the size of vehicle that you need to accommodate you and whoever else is going with you. But a big dilemma with the aging population is them not having a smartphone or, just knowing how to navigate the app. So this would be an awesome way for you to just pick up the phone and call them, like ordering a taxi, but it's just through Lyft, and you would just tell them, hey, I need you to come get me from here at this time and take me here. So that would be really good if you don't want to go through the app or didn't have the accessibility. And then I also found this program called Go Grandparent. This service has popped up to help seniors manage Uber and Lyft. It's a call-in service that helps people who either don't have or aren't comfortable with smartphones. So same concept. Like I said, if you don't have a smartphone or just don't want to use the app, you can call Go Grandparent and they can call and set up the ride for you. So there are plenty of transportation options out there. Like I said, these are just a few. I know some areas have area-specific transportations. Some states have just rideshare programs just for their state or their city. So check your area if you do want to take advantage of this or you need some sort of transportation help. You do have these options out there. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with what text messaging is. It's just sending messages, from phone to phone without actually picking up the phone and calling someone. But some of the things that can benefit you from text messaging is you can make emergency phone calls just by sending a text. A lot of phones, you have a designated number or even just a designated button on your phone that you can hold down and it would automatically call 911 or notify emergency contacts within your cell phones. You can video chat, and I just put with grandchildren, but video chat with anybody, This is a good way to stay communicated is from your smartphone. You can control your smart devices like your smart thermostat or smart lock. So this is really getting into some technical stuff, but there are smart thermostats and smart locks out there. There are actually thermostats within your home that you can install, and from your cell phone, you can change the thermostat and do a multitude of things. Same thing with this smart lock that I've mentioned. There are security systems with your phone, with your house, actual locks to lock your house, all that you can control from your phone. You can text with your friends. Great way to stay connected. It's good with the video chat, it's good to see people's faces. But even with texting, just chatting back and forth via text, it's good to stay in contact with people. You don't want to feel isolated. And we know as a family caregiver, that is a common thing you may deal with, because people just don't understand what you're going through. So it's very common for friends to kind of fall off and lose contact just because they don't know how to talk to you, but just because they aren't familiar with what you're going through. And a lot of times it's hard as the caregiver to understand that. With your phone, you can use a GPS to help navigate when driving or walking. It's always best practice to do that hands-free, so set up the GPS within your phone before you leave your destination. Before you leave your house. And have it's good to have a little mount in your car to put your phone hands-free for you to set it up on your dash like it is a GPS and be able to follow it without using your hands. So that's good with a smartphone. Also, on a smartphone, you can check the weather on the go. So that's always good to be weather aware of everywhere you're going, checking the date and time. I know as a family caregiver, things get crazy. Oops. Excuse me. I'm getting us messed up here. So, as a caregiver, things can get crazy. You may lose track of date and time. You may just in the hustle bustle of things not realize, today's Monday, May 17th. Mama has an appointment this afternoon at 3 o'clock, or I need to go pay a bill today or something. So having a phone with that date readily available can be beneficial to you. So most smartphones, you can monitor your health through the apps these days too. I know iPhones specifically have a health app that can track your heart rate, how many steps you take a day, multiple things. So that's something that would be good. And then also a benefit of having a smartphone is accessing the internet. So even if that's just to Google something, if you have a dilemma in that moment and you need to Google something real quick to figure out a solution, or even if it's just to get on social media to stay in contact with family or friends, having that access in your hand could be beneficial to you just to stay connected so you're not feeling so isolated. So I know I targeted this towards just text messaging, but having a smartphone in general comes with a multitude of benefits, not only for the aging population, but for family caregivers. It could, benefit you in so many ways. And ultimately, with these technological advances, that's what it's all about, is just making things easier for you as the family caregiver, because that is respite for you. Respite is just a temporary break for the family caregiver, which is you. And having these technologies to take the load off a little bit, that's just one less thing you have to worry about. That's going to give you a break ultimately in the long run. If you're well rested, then you are your best caregiver self that you can be for your loved one, and your loved one's going to receive the best care possible from you. So it's going to benefit everybody in this situation. So the last thing that I think may benefit you as a family caregiver is mail order prescriptions. So I know a lot of people already take advantage of this, and actually a lot of prescription insurance companies I've noticed have kind of been steering towards mail order more and more, requiring their clientele to get mail order prescriptions. But mail order is a safe and secure method for getting prescriptions filled, and it really is becoming the norm. Many of Blue Cross members appreciate that they don't have to get out of the house. Blue Cross's Medicare Advantage population in particular often has mobility and transportation challenges, which we've already, hit on. A lot of times, regardless of the situation, you may not have transportation to get to the pharmacy or get to the doctor's office to pick up the prescription. or anything like that. So it's going to be very convenient for you. A lot of times it's more cost efficient. A lot of times these insurance agencies, insurance agencies, they'll actually, if you'll get a 3-month supply through mail order, a lot of times your copay will be cheaper doing that than actually getting a 30-day supply from your actual pharmacy. So that's something you could look into. And it's going to be low human contact if you're getting on mail order, which is a big, big thing for the time that we're in right now. Even though things are starting kind of to die down with coronavirus and get back to normal, I don't know how long, we're going to have to live in caution, how long we need to maintain this social distancing. But as of now, we know coronavirus is not completely eradicated. It's still prominent. It's still happening. Just the cases are dying down right now. But right now especially would be a good time to just have your prescriptions filled through a mail order pharmacy and have them mailed to you so that you're not getting exposed to anything trying to get to the pharmacy. And when you're exposed to something, you're bringing it home to your loved one. So it's going to benefit everybody in this scenario if you just get it through the mail order pharmacy. So I hope, y'all will have to excuse my dogs. But hopefully some of these that we've hit on are some technologies that maybe you haven't thought about, or maybe you have thought about them before and just hadn't taken them seriously or thought about how they may benefit you in the long run or benefit you specifically as a family caregiver. So I hope this has maybe opened your eyes a little bit, or maybe made you think about considering, some things that, even if it wasn't things that I've talked about, maybe going through this has made you think about some things that you could take advantage of that would make your life easier as the family caregiver. So even if it's just not online grocery shopping or online banking or transportation or having a smartphone or mail order prescriptions, you may be more aware now of just realizing things in your life that would make things easier. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at cfrensley@ucphuntsville.org, or you can always call the office. We are readily available. If you have any questions, like I said, though, feel free to reach out to me. Maybe you would like to take advantage of some of these technologies. You just don't really know how to get started or really how, and I can definitely help you with that, or I can get you connected with somebody that can help you with that. But feel free, like I said, just to reach out if you need anything, and I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon.